Good luck. We have a Charmander, and a Charmander. Look at that. A Gambler, and a Wigglytuff. My friend. Welcome to the Pokeslot table here at the TCG Casino, a tabletop twist on the slot machine genre of casino games. You've chosen a wonderful evening to join us here. We have a gentle rain outside and a relaxing atmosphere here in the casino tonight. Would you like a brief explanation of the rules before we begin? Of course. We have a $1,000 chip minimum bet. The game is simple. We will lay down 9 cards on the table before you. You are simply looking to match either 3 basic Pokemon cards, 3 Stage 1 Pokemon cards, or 3 holofoil Pokemon cards. Gamblers are wild, of course, and your match must be in the row or column that you placed your bet on. For example, let's show you a sample hand. We will start by taking 1 card from each pile. The hand will always be dealt like so. And you are looking for matches of any of the previously stated cards. So, for example, you have a match. If you were to have bet on the middle row, you have a wild Gambler and 2 basic Jigglypuff, which would result in a win. The payouts are as follows. For a matched basic Pokemon, the payout is 3-1. For a matched Stage 1 Pokemon, the payout is 5-1. And for a matched holofoil Pokemon, the payout is 10-1. A jackpot of sorts. The odds, of course, descend as you move up the payout order. Do you understand? You can place multiple bets on multiple rows or columns, as well as any combination of the two. All right. And what would you like to buy in for? Once again, the minimum bet for each hand is $1,000. We have $1,000 chips. We have $5,000 chips, $10,000 chips, $25,000 chips, and $50,000 chips. All right, $25,000. And how would you like those chips? 20 in $1,000 chips and 1 $5,000 chip, of course. Let's begin with your $1,000 chips, shall we? We have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, and 10,000. Then we have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, and 10,000. So you have 1 $10,000 stack and 2 $10,000 stacks for 20,000, and your $5,000 chip for when you are feeling extra bold. Are you ready to begin? Of course. And where would you like your first bet to be placed? Column 2, 1,000. And row 2, 1,000. Excellent. Good luck. Your first card out is a holofoil Wigglytuff. And look at that. Well, good thing you didn't bet on row 1, because it was indeed not a winner. A Jigglypuff, a Gambler, always a good sign. And another Gambler. Excellently played. Ah, if only that was a Jigglypuff. Or a Wigglytuff, rather. Alright, so you have a match of 2 wilds and a Jigglypuff for a payout of 3 to 1 on your $1,000 bet and a loss on column 2. Well done on your first hand. A winning hand right out of the gate is always an excellent way to start your evening here at the TCG Casino. And your next bet. Column 3 and row 3, 1,000 each. Very well. Good luck. We have a Kadabra, Machoke, Charmander, Wigglytuff, Krabby, Jigglypuff, Charmander, Jigglypuff, and Jigglypuff. Unfortunately, not a winning hand on either of your bets, but not to worry. 1 out of 2 of your initial hands is not bad at all. Alright, your next bet. 5,000. Wow. Bold. Immediately. I love it. Column 1 and row 1. 5,000 and 1,000. Very well. Good luck. We have a Charmander, Kadabra, Krabby, Kadabra, and it looks like the rest of the cards will be placeholders for what could have been, that would have been a nice match on row 3 and column 2, but that is the luck of the game. A loss on both bets, I am afraid. And it looks like we are 1 hand away from a reshuffle. Your next bet. 1,000 on column 2 and row 1. Perfect. Good luck. We have a Krabby, Charmander, Machoke, Kadabra, Charmander, Charmander, Jigglypuff, Kadabra, I am afraid, and Charmander, if only we were 1 card removed. Well, it looks like that early luck abandoned us quickly, but the good thing about luck is it tends to come back round. So, are you enjoying your stay in R&R City thus far? Perfect. Here on business or pleasure? Business, very well. I know better than to ask a member of this casino about specifics of business, so I will simply say best of luck on your endeavors. And our 3 stacks here. Alright, your next bet. 1,000 on column 1, 2, and 3. Very well. Column 1, 2, and 3. Best of luck. We have a Charmander, Jigglypuff, and a Gambler. Kadabra, I am afraid. Machoke, and a Gambler. Well, it looks like you will balance out any losses here. Jigglypuff, Machoke, and a Kadabra. Look at that. A 5-to-1 payout. So we do lose columns 1 and 2, but a stage 1 match is a 5-to-1. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 1. Excellent. Excellently played. It's almost as though you used a bit of foresight to see that one, and for that, I can't blame you. My Mischievous here is known to dabble in a bit of foresight herself. Alright, your next bet. 1,000 on row 1 and 2. Perfect. Row 1 and row 2. Good luck. We have a Kadabra, Jigglypuff, Gambler, Wigglytuff, Krabby, Jigglypuff, Kadabra, Wigglytuff, and Jigglypuff. I am afraid that is a loss on both of your bets. But at least only one Gambler was used on that hand, so you do know that several remain in the deck. Your next bet. Column 1 and row 3. 1,000 each. Perfect. And best of luck. We have a Kadabra, Charmander, Machoke, Wigglytuff, Gambler, Charmander, Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff, and a Charmander. So close. A double loss, I am afraid. But that is why we play the game. Let's balance out this deck just a bit. One last hand. Perfect. All right, your bet. 2,000 on column 2. Perfect. 2,000, column 2. And 1,000 on row 3. Very well. Good luck. We have a Kadabra, Gambler, a wonderful draw on a $2,000 bet, Jigglypuff, Charmander, Charmander, Krabby, Machoke, Machoke, and Charmander. If only those two cards were swapped, we would have been a winner. It looks like a reshuffle is in the works. Can I get you any beverage, food, anything like that? Vitamins for your Pokémon? Very well. Just a winning hand. I will try my best. And a quick cut. And our 3 decks here. All right, the luck has been refreshed. Your first bet of this Rejuvenated 1,000 on column 1 and 3. Very well. Good luck. We have a Kadabra, Jigglypuff, Gambler, Kadabra, Krabby, Charmander, and Jigglypuff, I am afraid. Wigglytuff and a Gambler. There's a win. We have a loss, but a 3-1 payout on your column 3 bet. Very well done. I had a feeling that your luck would turn around rather soon. Have you seen any Pokémon on our menu that catch your eye for redeeming your prizes for? Oh, a Porygon. Shooting high. Nothing wrong with that. Alright, your next bet. 1,000. Column 2 and row 2. Good luck. Charmander, Wigglytuff, Jigglypuff, Charmander, Jigglypuff, Gambler, and I'm afraid that the remainder of the cards are inconsequential to your bet, but once again, your previous winning hand should help stave off the feeling of regret. Your next bet, please. 3,000 on column 3. And just column 3. Very well. Good luck. We have a Gambler, a Kadabra, Wigglytuff, Gambler, Charmander, Jigglypuff, and unfortunately, we have a loss of that $3,000 bet, but that is a price that we pay for our potential for winning. And it looks like a reshuffle is in dire need. I will be ever so quick. All right, our 3 decks here. And your next bet. 1,000 on column 1 and row 2. Very well. Good luck. We have a Charmander, and a Gambler, a Krabby, Jigglypuff, and Jigglypuff. And unfortunately, a loss here. If only you are on column 3, we would have had a win. Yes, I do feel your pain. And your next bet, you still have a healthy amount of chips to win your way back. 2,000 on column 3, chasing the whispers of a former win, and 1,000 on row 3. Excellent. Good luck. A Charmander, Jigglypuff, Gambler, Gambler, and a Charmander. Kadabra, Gambler. We are hoping for a Kadabra or a Gambler here. And unfortunately, a Jigglypuff. I must say, I do pity your unfortunate luck. Not that I don't have faith that you can turn it around, but I would like to see you win. Anyone sitting at my table, I do always hope has the absolute best time. And your next bet, and may it be a ever favorable one. All right, 1,000 on columns 1 and 2, and row 2. Perfect. And perhaps my mischievous will cast a favorable hex on this hand. Good luck. We have a Gambler, a Wigglytuff, Kadabra, Charmander, Wigglytuff, Kadabra. Kadabra, I am afraid, for column 1. That was almost a wonderful hand. You almost had your Wigglytuff. If only a Gambler or a Wigglytuff here, you would have been quite rich. And if only a Gambler or a Charmander here. My mischievous hex was not favorable enough, it looks like. Perhaps I should have requested that it cast Charm, but it's a bit too late for that. It looks like you have $4,000 worth of chips left. Would you like to buy in for additional chips or play out what you have? Play out till the end. That's the spirit. We have our 3 decks. Hopefully they smile upon you this time. And your next bet. Excellent. 1,000 on columns 1, 2, and 3. Swing for the fences. I don't see any problem with that. All right, good luck. We have a Machoke, a Jigglypuff, Wigglytuff, Kadabra, Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff. There it is, Jigglypuff, and Kadabra. So we do have a winning hand, so you were able to stop the loss there. Excellent job. That's why sometimes it's smart to bet on multiple columns at a time. Perhaps you found your new strategy. I thought so. Columns 1, 2, and 3 again. 1,000 each. Perfect. All right, good luck. We have a Charmander, Kadabra, Crappy, Charmander, Jigglypuff, Charmander, Kadabra, and Wigglytuff. I am afraid that same strategy did not pay off that time, but it was worth a try. And your next bet. Going for broke. Excellent. Rows 1 and 2. All right. Best of luck. Gambler, Jigglypuff, Gambler, there it is. Charmander, Charmander, and Wigglytuff. So I do see that there's no need to lay out the additional 3 cards. You have a winning hand on your first row, or first there, and a loss on your second row. So you have stayed in the game, which is imperative at this point in time for your hands. Let's go ahead and get a reshuffle. I always enjoy to get to see a guest come from almost nothing and strike luck at the last moment. It's always exhilarating. So nothing would give me more joy than to watch you build that stack of chips back to its original glory. Alright, a quick cut. And the separation of our decks. Alright, your first bet. Rows 1, 2, and 3. Excellent. Going for that strategy again. Nothing wrong with that. Good luck. We have a Charmander, Charmander, and a Charmander. Look at that. A Gambler, a Gambler, and a Wigglytuff. My friend. What a hand. A Jigglypuff, Kadabra, and a Jigglypuff, but it does not matter, for you lose 1 hand, but you get a 3-1 payout for your Charmander bet, and a 10-1 payout for your holofoil win. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well done. That is exactly what the doctor ordered. I could not be happier for you. All right, feeling refreshed. I thought so. Your next bet. 1,000 on columns 1, 2, and 3. Very well. Good luck. We have a Kadabra, a Charmander, Kadabra, a Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff, and a Charmander. And unfortunately, it looks as though the remainder of the hand will be impossible to win due to your first 2 cards. So we will save the cards in the deck for the next hand. Alright, your next bet. Rows 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. Good luck. We have a Charmander, a Wigglytuff, Jigglypuff, Kadabra, Wigglytuff, and a Charmander, a Kadabra, a Gambler, and a Krabby. I do apologize for such rotten luck following such an ultimate high that you experienced with that holofoil win. Let's balance this deck out ever so slightly, and it looks like we will need a reshuffle ever so quickly. Alright, a quick cut. And our 3 decks here. And your next bet. 1,000 on rows 1, 2, and column 2. Very well. Best of luck. We have a gambler, a gambler, and a gambler. Look at that. A Kadabra, a gambler, a Charmander, a Jigglypuff, a Kadabra, very well done, and a Charmander. So we do have a gambler win with 3 wild cards in a row. They do count as a basic, I am afraid, but a gambler, and a stage 1 is a 5-to-1. So we have a 3-to-1 payout and a 5-to-1 payout. Excellent. We will save you that one. Pay you 2 additional. And then your 5-to-1. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-to-1. Look at that. We are making our way back home. I knew you had it in you. Now, unfortunately, quite a few of our gamblers were spent on that hand, so I would play conservatively. That's just my advice. Play as you would like. Your next bet. 1,000 on columns 1 and 2. Perfect. Good luck. Charmander, Jigglypuff, Gambler, Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff, Kadabra, and we do have still 1 chance to win. And a Kadabra, I am afraid. That is a loss. You were close with it, Jigglypuff. I thought you were going to get the 3 in a row necessary for the win, but unfortunately you did not. Your next bet. Rows 1 and 2. Perfect. 1 and 3, alright. Good luck. We have a Charmander, Wigglytuff, Wigglytuff, Charmander, Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff, Machoke, Charmander, and I'm afraid that is a loss. It does look like it is time for a reshuffle, however, so we will get those gamblers back into the deck. Alright, a couple of quick cuts. And the separation of our decks. Alright, your bet. Columns 1 through 3. I thought so. Good luck. We have a Jigglypuff, Wigglytuff, and a Kadabra, a bit of everything. A Charmander, Charmander, and a Machoke. That is unfortunately an impossible hand to win, therefore a automatic loss. But there is still time. No gamblers used in that hand. That is a good sign. Your next bet. Columns 1 through 3. Again. Excellent. Good luck. Kadabra, Charmander, and Gambler. Charmander, Charmander, Wigglytuff. My, that could be interesting. We have a Kadabra, a Krabby, and a Jigglypuff. Wow, I really thought that You are on your way to a massive win. Always exhilarating when that Gambler and Jigglypuff land on a row or column that you have placed a bet on. Alright, your bets. Rows 1, 2, and 3. Let's switch it up a bit. Alright, good luck. Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff, and Jigglypuff, well done. Gambler, Charmander, and Charmander, excellent. Jigglypuff, Kadabra. So that will be a loss, but a 3-to-1 payout on each of your other bets. Very well done. How are you feeling? Yes, the up and down roller coaster of Pokeslots here at the table. And it looks like it's time for a reshuffle. Feeling like the time to go all in is upon you. Well, let's make sure we get a great shuffle for you then. I do apologize. We want to make sure that you have all of the advantages that we can afford you, which is unfortunately just a solid shuffle and the goodwill of a dealer, which you have in this case. All right, how many cuts would you like? 3, your lucky number. Perfect. All right, and our 3 decks, let's balance them out just a bit. And your bets. 2,000 on columns 1, 2, and 3. Here we go. That is more like it. Now, good luck. Wigglytuff. Charmander. Charmander. The tension is building. Gambler. There we are. Machoke. Charmander. And Jigglypuff again. I am sorry. Kadabra. And Krabby. That is a very unfortunate hand. We were so close to greatness there. And it looks like you have $6,000 worth of chips. I thought so. All in. 2,000 columns or rows? Columns. Perfect. 2,000 on each column. Let's make this a win, shall we? Good luck. Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff. And Kadabra. Jigglypuff, there we are. Gambler, perfect. And Charmander. Unfortunately, that one will be a loss. So we are flipping 2 cards now. Jigglypuff, there's a win. And Wigglytuff. That Wigglytuff Gambler Jigglypuff combo has been a spur in your side, but we get a $6,000 match. So we have 2, 4, 6 for your $2,000 bet, which gives you just enough to go all in once again. All right, are you ready? Perfect. 2,000 each. I thought so. Columns 1, 2, and 3. You have 2,000 additional chips there. What would you like to do? Wait or use them? All right. An additional 1,000 on column 1 and 3. Perfect. Good luck. We have a Gambler, Charmander, and Kadabra. We have a Kadabra, Charmander, and Jigglypuff. We have a loss here on column 3. And here we go. Jigglypuff, I am afraid. Gambler, there's a win. And we will save our chips there. So we have a loss, but a $6,000 win. We are staying alive here. And what do you say? Enough for one more hand. Perfect. Now, is this actually your last hand, or is this the proverbial last hand? Yes, we shall see. Three cuts again, your lucky number. And our deck separation. We are prepared for a win. Your bets, 2,000 on each. I've grown accustomed to your ways and wish you the very best of luck. Charmander, Charmander, Gambler, Machoke, Charmander, Jigglypuff. That better not be a Wigglytuff. We have a Jigglypuff, Gambler, there's a win, and Charmander. So we do have a loss on columns 1 and 3, but a $6,000 payout on column 2. Very well done. Well, are you cashing out or playing yet another hand? One more hand. Perfect. I thought so. You had that look in your eye. 2,000 on each? Perfect. 2,000 on columns 1, 2, and 3. Giving you $4,000 worth of chips left. What's that? A bit of cold feet. Not a problem. You would like to cash out. Well, you have left with $10,000 worth of chips. Started with a 25, so not a bad night for your first time playing. Did you enjoy yourself? Perfect. All right, well, please do enjoy your $10,000 worth of chips. Of course, you can redeem them for coins at the front desk for prizes that will, I'm sure, make your day. All right, please do come back anytime, and if you can, stop by my table. I'd love to see your face again. Of course. Have a wonderful evening.